Okay, today I'm going to show you how to do assignment 5. Okay, in this whole exercise, we mainly focus on solving the quadratic equation using factorization. No formula yet. Formula you will only learn in Sec 3. Okay, so as long as the question cannot be factorized, then we say that there's no solution. Okay, first question, 1a. Okay, this is the equation we have. Denominator is 2 and 1 plus 4, x plus 4. So we multiply both sides by the common denominator, the LCM, which is 2 and x plus 4. So when 2 and x plus 4 multiplied to the left side, I have x plus 4 times x minus 3. For the other side, I have x plus 4 cancel with the x plus 4, so I'm left with 2 multiplied with the 4. Okay, next I expand this out. Okay, when I do expansion, I have x times x, 4 times x, negative 3 times x, and then negative 3 times 4. So I actually supposed to have a plus x and a minus 12 here equals to 8. Rearranging, x squared plus x minus 20 equals to 0. So I do the cross method again, xx, 4 and 5. Okay, so a negative 4, a positive 5 to get my answer of positive x here. So this can be factorized into x minus 4 times x plus 5 equals to 0. So x minus 4 is a 0, or x plus x plus 5 equals to 0. This is by the now factor law. Okay, I must always make sure one side is equals to 0. Okay, so here the two factors multiply together to get 0, and that means one of them must be equals to 0. So therefore I have x equals to 4 or x equals to negative 5. So these two are my answers for question 1a. Next, question 1b. You can see that there's a fraction here, another fraction, and then this side don't have fraction. Can I multiply the LCM to be equals to 3? So I multiply 3, multiply 3, multiply 3 here. So I have 5x squared plus 2x equals to 3. Rearrange all to be the same side. So I have 5x squared plus 2x minus 3 equals to 0. Okay, take note that I'm having a 0. Okay, and next I'm going to use now factor law. So I have 5x and x to get 5x squared, and then 3 and 1, so that I want this middle term to be 2, so I need a plus here and a minus negative here. Okay, multiply together is negative 3. This one multiply together 5x squared. This one times together is negative 3x and then 5x, so together is 2x. Okay, so 5x minus 3 times x plus 1 equals to 0. So 5x minus 3 equals to 0, or x plus 1 equals to 0. So x is equals to 3 over 5, or x is equals to negative 1. So that is for question 1b. Okay, question 1c is very easy because one side already, okay, a 0. So the left hand side, there are only two terms, so the common factor will be x. Okay, when x is brought out, I'll have 3x plus 4 equals to 0. So now I have x times 3x plus 4 equals to 0. So I'm going to use the now factor law. Either the first factor is a 0 or the second factor is a 0. So if the first factor is a 0, x is equals to 0. If the second factor is a 0, I'm going to get negative 1 and 1/3. Okay, so this is the answer for question C. Very easy. Okay, next, also two terms. Okay, but this is the difference of two squares. 4 is 2 square. Okay, and then this 9x square, I can put it to be 3x square. Okay, so now I will have a squared minus b squared. I'll have a plus b multiply with a minus b equals to 0. So again, 2 plus 3x is 0, or 2 minus 3x equals to 0. So x is negative 2/3 or x is equals to 2/3. Okay, and these two are the answers. Okay, so these are the first four parts of question 1. 4 parts. Okay, again, we are always changing one side to be equals to 0. So for this one, I'm going to do expansion. Okay, expand this, multiply out, and multiply this and this, and then I'm at the same time going to bring the negative 6 to the other side, or I add 6 to both sides. Okay, so I have 3x minus x squared plus 6 minus 2x equals to negative 6. Okay, I always like to rearrange the term in such a way that my x squared is always a positive. So in order to make this a positive, can I imagine that both sides I add the x squared? So I'm having x squared that come over this side. Okay, then 3x minus 2x, I'm left with x. But if I were to put on the other side, I'm getting negative x. And then the 6 here and negative 6 here, I subtract 6 from both sides. So I'm going to get negative 12. And on the other side, I'm getting a 0. Okay, so this is a 0. Okay, so again, we are going to use now factor law, factorize the left-hand side. It contains 3 terms, so we're going to use a cross method. 3, maybe 4 times 3. If I have negative here, I have positive here, I'm going to get the middle term, which is negative x. Okay, negative 4x plus 3x, so negative x. So it can be factorized to be x minus 4 times x plus 3 equals to 0. So either x minus 4 is a 0 or x plus 3 is a 0. So x is equals to 4 or x equals to negative 3. So this is question 1E. Okay, question 1F, this question actually cannot do by factorization. Okay, you can see the b squared minus 4ac, b, okay, for a equation, for a quadratic expression ax squared plus bx plus c equals to 0, our a here is 1, b here is 7, and c is actually negative 5. So b squared minus 4ac will be 7 squared minus 4 times a is 1 and c is negative 5. So I'm getting a 49 plus 20, which is a 69. And this is not a perfect square. Okay, so when this is not a perfect square, that means this expression, okay, the left-hand side the expression is never possible to be factorized. So if it's not possible to be factorized, we say that there is no solution. Okay, as it cannot be factorized. You will be learning how to do by formula method next year. Okay. Okay, next question H. This question, you are encouraged to use substitution method. So if we let y to be x minus 4, 1 minus x, why so? Can you see that when I replace this by y, because this one here and this one here are the same, only thing this is a square, this one without the square. So if I were to replace my whole equation, the x minus 4, 1 minus x to be equals to y, then I'm getting 2y squared equals to y plus 3. Okay, so I have 2y squared minus y minus 3 equals to 0. So I will do factorization here. So I will factorize it to be 2y, y, and 1, and okay, 3 and 1, a negative and a positive here. Right? Okay, so I have 2y minus 3 multiply with y plus 1 equals to 0. So y is 3 over 2, or y is equals to negative 1. So if y equals to this, I'm finding x, I'm not finding y. So I have to put y, the x value in. Okay, equals to 3 over 2. So I'm getting 2x equals to minus 8 equals to 3 minus 3x. So I'm getting 5x is 11. So x is actually 2.2. Okay, the other possible answer is x minus 4, 1 minus x equals to negative 1. So I'm getting x minus 4 equals to negative 1 plus x. And if I were to do this, I can see that my x here and the x here cancel out. That means the negative 4 equals to negative 1, which is not possible because this becomes something which is not possible. So there is no solution here. Okay, so there's only one answer, which is x equals to 2.2.